Yes, then I'll continue. See, we are continuing with the chemical bonding. So the next concept what you're going to study today, it's an important topic also from your exam point of view. That is VSEPR theory, also called as valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay. So this theory has come forward because you have studied about Lewis concept. What was the drawback which was there in the Lewis concept? The drawback which was there in the Lewis concept was that they were not able to explain the shape of the molecule. Now, since we are talking about chemical bonding here, chemical bonding means when you have two or more than two atoms which are combined to each other. So when they are combined to each other, they should be arranged in a particular geometry. Correct, no? So when they are arranged in a particular geometry, that should be explained how exactly that arrangement is happening. Okay, that at least should be known to us. So that clear picture was not given to us by the Lewis concept. So that was the reason why this valence shell electron pair repulsion theory was put forward. And this theory was put forward by the two scientists you can see here. One is Sidgwick and the other one is Powell, who has put forward this theory in the year 1940. But later the theory was little improvised also, because some things they had missed out when they were explaining it. But later it was improvised by two more scientists, okay, Nilholm and Gillips. In 1957 they improvised and the theory was given to us, and this, based on this VSEPR theory, we remember the shape of the molecule. Okay, so further in your first year as well as in your second year, when you are talking about the shape of the molecule, we consider the shape based on what they have given to us. Okay, and it was a clear picture of explaining the shape of the molecules. So let us see what does this theory tell us, okay, and what are the postulates of this particular theory. So let us understand, and I said it's important also from your exam point of view. So try to understand the postulates, what they are trying to tell us. Okay, so it is based on valence shell electron pair. The main postulates of this theory, okay, the name is VSEPR. Okay, so VSEPR stands for valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Means they are talking about the electrons which are present in their outermost shell. Okay, so your first postulate, you see what they are trying to tell us is that shape of the molecule which is there, that depends on the number of valence shell electron pair around the central atom. Means how many electrons are present in the central atom. Based on that, the shape of that molecule will be decided. Like for example, if I take now beryllium, okay, beryllium, you know, atomic number is 4, no? So I can write as 1s2 and then 2s2. How many electrons in their outermost shell? How many electrons, students, in their outermost shell? You all tell me how many electrons are there. Yes, 2. Correct, no? The number of electrons which are present in their outermost shell is 2. So here they say that the number of bond which they are going to form is also 2, because the number of electrons are 2. So 2 bonds will be formed. How will be the shape? I will tell you later. Okay, how that shape will be exactly, if 2 bonds are there, if 3 bonds are there, that I am going to tell you at the end of this postulates. Okay, so remember here beryllium is going to form that 2 bonds, so that shape will be based on that 2 bonds which are being formed by the beryllium atom. Okay, and boron, if I take, you know, boron atomic number is 5, so the number of electrons which are present in their outermost shell is 1s2, 2s2, full electronic configuration I'm writing first, 1s2, 2s2 and then 2p1. Outermost electrons are 3, so that means the number of bond which will be formed by them will be 3. So this 3 will be arranged in a particular geometry. Okay, so that will give you one shape. If there are 2 atoms which are binded to the central atom, means the one which are present in the center. Okay, like example, now here I said beryllium. So beryllium will be linked with one negative ion. It can be in the form of like this: beryllium chloride, beryllium fluoride, okay, BeF2. So like this. So the one which is present alone here, that is a central atom. And to the central atom, many negative ions will be linked. So that geometry, how when the negative ion comes and links with the central metal atom, what type of shape are they going to impart to that molecule? Okay, that will be decided by how many electron pairs are present in their outermost shell. Okay, so that is the first postulate. Remember, the shape of the molecule depends on the number of valence shell electron pair around the central atom. I said the shape I will give you later. Now you just remember how many electrons are there in their outermost shell. Based on that, the shape will be decided. Where around the central atom, not anywhere else, around the central atom. So you can take down this point, first one. See, VSEPR theory stands for VSEPR. V for valence, okay? Valence. S stands for shell. E for electron. P is pair. R is repulsion, okay? So VSEPR theory, short form is VSEPR, okay? Stands for valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So I said this theory was put forward by these two scientists. Why it has come into picture? The reason was because Lewis concept was not able to tell us what is the shape of the molecule. Okay, we could not understand when many negative ions are linked to a metal atom, what type of geometry are they imparting to that. Okay, there will be some arrangement. No, just randomly they can't get arranged with themselves. Okay, because electrons are present, so they will be having a definite geometry. That geometrical shape was not given by Lewis concept. Okay, so that was a failure. If you remember, that was a drawback of that particular theory, Lewis concept theory, which could not explain. So that was the reason why this valence shell electron pair repulsion theory came into picture, which could give us an idea how exactly when negative ions are linked to a metal, what type of geometry they will be showing us. So for that, they have given a certain assumption and postulates are given based on whatever they have understood and then observations what they have made. So we have a postulates to remember here. So I said the first postulate, what they said, they are saying that the shape of the molecules which are there, okay, shape of any molecules when we are talking about, it depends on the number of valence shell electron pair, because I have told you even in the Lewis concept, the electrons which are present in the outermost shell, only they will be involving themselves in forming the bond. Okay, the electrons which are present inside the atom, okay, that is the core electrons which are there, they don't participate in forming a bond. So that is what the first postulate is. The shape will depend on the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. So how many electrons are there? Depending on that, different shapes you will be getting. Okay, so if it is 2, you may be having a linear shape. If it is 3, it will have this kind of shape. If it is 4, then a different shape. Okay, depending on the number of valence electrons which are present. Different number of electron, different will be the shape. Like if I give you 2 sticks, what are the way you can arrange them? Okay, you will be getting one straight line. But if I give you 3, you can have different arrangement. If I give you 4 sticks, then the way you are going to arrange them will be changing. So that shape changes when you have more number of electrons present. I hope my first point is clear to everyone. This first postulate is clear, which was given by VSEPR. Okay, we'll go for next one then. Yes. So that was the first postulate. Now next postulate says that this pair of electrons, now whether if there is 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electrons, anyways they are electron. No, so pair of electrons, if they are present, then their electron clouds, okay, these are negatively charged. You know, electrons are negatively charged. So pair of electrons in the valence shell, they repel one another because their electron clouds are negatively charged. For example, now beryllium, let me take, okay, 2 bonds are there. So here one bond is over here, one bond can be formed on this side when they, because they have 2 electrons. So what happens, these electrons which are present, these pair of electrons are there, no students, when they are linking with any a negative atom, I will label them as X. Okay, so yeah, these pair of electrons in this valence shell, electrons which are present in this valence shell, so electrons are negatively charged. So if you have a negative and negatively charged, what will happen? These negative and negatively charged ones will repel each other. Why they will repel each other? Because they are having a opposite, like they are having a similar charges on them. So that is the reason why pair of electrons which are present in the valence shell, they repel one another because their electron clouds are negatively charged. Okay, so that is the next postulate. So one example I took of here, beryllium. You can even talk about now boron. If I take, okay, boron, the number of electrons they can form, 5 is the atomic number. Valence electrons what we have is 1 is to 2p1. 3 are there. Okay, so 3 bonds can be formed here with a negative atom. Okay, so I will take this as X and X. So here 3 electron pairs are there. So these 3 electron pair which are present in this valence shell, okay, these electrons, they are not happy with each other because of their similar charges. Okay, because these two, both of them, one more is there, third one. Okay, all of these are negatively charged, so they start repelling one another. So that is the next postulate. You can write down pair of electrons in the valence shell repel one another since their electron clouds are negatively charged. Yes, see now the next postulate is linked to this one only. Okay, the second postulate and the third one is almost connected to each other. What does the second postulate say? That pair of electron in the valence shell, okay, they repel one another. Why? Because their electron clouds are negatively charged. See, if negatively charged are there, then how should we arrange them? Suppose if two people doesn't like each other, should I make them to sit in one, like in one bench? Should I make them to sit together? If I make them to sit together, definitely they are going to fight. Okay, so if two people who are of same mentality and both are violent with each other and they don't like each other at all, then I should not be making them to sit in one place. What I should do is I should make them to sit in such a way that one is in one corner and the other one is in the other corner at extreme distance. I should separate them and make them to sit in the opposite direction. Okay, put them in such a way that they are not able to come in contact with each other. Okay, so your electron clouds also, since they don't like each other, their charges are same. Okay, you cannot put them in one this thing. If you're putting them also, see that you arrange them in such a way that they are at maximum distance from each other. Okay, so here that is the next postulate what they say. So these pair of electron tend to occupy such position in space that minimizes the repulsion and maximizes the distance between them. Okay, when you are having two or more pair of electron, since these electron clouds are negatively charged, you can't put them together. You can't make a bond like this. Okay, now if I have to write for this beryllium chloride, BeCl2, I can't write beryllium chloride like this. One chlorine here and one chlorine here. This will be like I am putting them together. These are also electron pair and this is also an electron pair. Okay, so two electron pair cannot be made to sit in one place together. What I should be doing is, if I have a beryllium atom here, since electron, both of them are electron cloud, but they are bonded here. Okay, bonded electron pair, but then electron only, no, negatively charged. So I should keep one chlorine in one side and another chlorine on the another side. Okay, maximum distance. So when you put them at maximum distance, the repulsion what they will be experiencing will be minimum. Okay, means the fight which can happen will be less. Two people doesn't like each other, separate them. Okay, so that there is no problem at all. So here also, when we have two or more electron pair, you see that you put them in such a way that there is maximum distance and minimum repulsion. That is the third postulate. Okay, I hope you are able to understand now. Here beryllium chloride, I said this is one possibility. If I have now boron trichloride, BCl3, okay, BCl3, we can't put them like this, B here, one Cl here, one Cl here and Cl here. Okay, all these are electron cloud, electron pairs. So you have to arrange them in such a way that they are at maximum distance from each other. So take the central atom here on the center only, but then put the 3-chlorine atom at maximum distance from each other. This is one possible way I can arrange 3 of them so that they are at maximum distance from each other and they experience minimum repulsion. Okay, anyhow they are bonded like this based on the valencies. Since they have to sit in that confined region, but make them to sit in such a way that there is less repulsion. Okay, next postulate here. Now here I've taken one example of magnet also. For the third one itself, see pair of electron, I said you should put them in such a place that they are at maximum distance and see that there is minimum repulsion. Even it can be like you can take the example, analogy example of magnet also. If you get two like poles together, two like poles doesn't like each other. Okay, so what you have to do is when the like poles are together, you should make them to arrange in such a way that there is maximum distance, because two of the things cannot be put in one region when they don't like each other. Now the next postulate is this valence shell. Okay, it is just a consideration and assumption part. The valence shell is taken as a sphere with electron pair localizing on the spherical surface at maximum distance from one another. Okay, it's almost similar to the third one, but the only extra thing what they have added here is they are saying that valence shell is considered as a sphere. So if I'm taking this valence shell as a sphere, okay, like if one room is there, no, that one room they are considering here. But you know, atoms, they are spherical in shape. So valence shell is also considered as a sphere here. Not like our house, which is having a square or a rectangle geometry. So like that here for the atom, what geometry they are having is like a sphere. So valence shell is taken as a sphere. And in this valence shell, whatever electrons pair you are having, okay, now in this boron trichloride case, BCl3 case, boron will be in the center, okay. And these electron pair of this boron and chlorine is there, no, they will be localized in such a way that, okay, there is maximum distance from one another, okay. So they will be localized in this particular sphere itself. So in that sphere only they are trying to arrange themselves in such a way that there is maximum distance and minimum repulsion. Okay, that is the next postulate. The valence shell is taken as a sphere, the valence shell of that metal what we are talking about. So that is taken as a sphere, and inside that sphere these electron pairs are there, no. Boron is linked with the 3-chlorine atom. Okay, 3-chloride atom is there. So that electron pair which are there, they are localized themselves in such a way that, okay, there is maximum distance and minimum repulsion in that particular spherical surface. Okay, that is the fourth postulate. Valence shell is taken as a sphere with electron pair localizing on that spherical surface with maximum distance from one another. Okay, let's see the fifth postulate, what they have to say. So in the fifth one, the fifth postulate says that the multiple bond is there, no, that is treated as a single electron pair, and 2 or 3 electron pair is treated as a single super pair. So what they are trying to explain here is, suppose if there is a multiple bond, means if you are having a double bond or if you are having a triple bond within the molecule, okay, if there is a double bond or if there is a triple bond, so these are multiple bonds which are possible. So these multiple bonds are treated as a single electron pair. These are treated as single electron pair. Why they are trying to tell this is because a bond is taken as a single entity, whether it is single bond, okay, whether it is single bond, whether it is a double bond, or whether it's a triple bond. All of these are taken as one single entity. Everything is considered as one single entity. Okay, why they are considered as one single entity? Reason is because these are shared, no, between the two atoms. Like if I take now A and B, so between this atom, if these electron pairs are present, these are shared between the two species. Okay, so electrons will be in the same region. In this region itself, the electrons will be present because they are binded here. They cannot move from one place to another place. So they will be present in the same region, okay, between the two nuclei. So no matter how many electrons pair are present here, double, triple, okay, single, so it doesn't matter. So they are taken as one electron pair because they doesn't cause us any problem. They doesn't affect in the geometry. They doesn't change the shape of the molecule. Okay, so that is the reason why everything is taken as the single electron pair. Okay, and even if there is electron pairs, 2 or 3 electron pairs, they are taken as one single super pair. Okay, so this you need to keep in mind. Multiple bonds are treated as one single electron pair because they are confined between the two atoms. These are confined in between the two nuclei of the atom. Okay, so when they are present in this same region, they doesn't cause much problem for us. So that is the reason why they are taken as a single entity. They are considered as single entity. Okay, now one last postulate what we are having. So in a molecule, suppose if I take a molecule here, I'll take A and then B. Okay, this is the kind of molecule which I'm taking. Okay, so in the molecule, there are different kind of electron pairs which are present. Okay, so there are two types of electron pairs which you will find around the central atom. So around the central atom, this you don't write, students. Later I will give you that postulate. Now I'm explaining, just listen. Around the central atom, you will come across two types of electron pair. Okay, one is the lone pair of electron and the other one is bond pair of electron. Okay, LP stands for lone pair. One is the lone pair of electron you will come across and the other one is the bond pair of electrons. So there are two electron pairs which are possible around the central atom. This, when we were drawing the Lewis structure also, you might have come across, if you remember, between the oxygen and oxygen, when we wrote the double bond, there were bond pair also and there were lone pair also. Okay, so your bond pair is also present and the lone pair is also present. So here, let me take that lone pair. I'll just write it like this. Okay, these are the lone pair of electron. Now, what do you mean by bond pair? Bond pair are the electrons which are shared between the two atoms. Okay, so these electrons are shared between the two atoms. These are bond pair. Two bond pair I've taken here. These are bond pair. And the one which are not involved in the bonding, they are lone pair. Okay, which is not participating in the bond formation. Bond pair which has participated. Okay, these are the shared electrons which are present between the two atoms. So here, when all of these are electron itself, okay, and now there will be a repulsion when you have bond pair and then there is electron pair, lone pair of electrons, there are repulsion possible. So where the repulsion will be more is the question now. When you are having bond pair and bond pair, or when it is lone pair and bond pair, or whether it is lone pair and lone pair is the question. Okay, so let me give you one hint, then you tell me where will be the more repulsion. Okay, so now here bond pair electrons are there, no students. They are held between the two atoms. That means they are restricted. They are restricted between the two bonds. Okay, so the repulsion which they will be causing will be less compared to the ones which are in the lone pair. Lone pair means they are not involved in the bonding. So they are just left free. So who will cause us more trouble? Who will cause us more repulsion here? whether it is bond pair or whether it is lone pair. What do you think? Bond pair, I said the electrons which are involved in the bonding. So they are restricted between the two atoms. It is like they are held up. Okay. So if they are tied into something, then the problem which will cause for us will be less. Correct, no? And the one which are open, who are left open just like this, they will be the one who will be causing us more trouble. So lone pair are the one who will cause more repulsion, and bond pair are the one who will be causing less repulsion. Okay, so if I have to talk about the order, if two lone pair is present, no, see, two lone pair are there, two of them are held free, so then they are the one who will be giving us maximum repulsion. So if two lone pair are present, they will be giving us maximum repulsion. Okay, I'm talking about the repulsive order here. So repulsive interaction between the lone pair and lone pair will be highest. Then if there is lone pair and then one bond pair, okay, this will be little less because one is lone pair and the other one is bond pair. So amount of repulsion which they will cause will be little less, and it will be very less when the two bond pairs are present. Okay, so this actually it helps us to tell about the geometrical shape. Geometrical shape can change if there is many lone pair present, if there is one lone pair also, and if there is bond pair, the geometry is different. Okay, so that repulsive interaction changes based on this. Okay, so I told you in the central atom there are two types of electron pair you will come across. One is the lone pair and the other one is the bond pair. Okay, lone pair are the electrons which are not involved in the bonding. Bond pair of the electrons are the one which are shared between the two atoms. So that means they are held in the bonding. So if somebody is held, somebody is tied up, okay, then the amount of problem which they will cause for us will be less. Okay, but if somebody is held free, they will be the one who will be causing more repulsion. Okay, you can even think like a robbers. If robbers are put in the jail, they are held up there. Okay, they are tied up. Then they will not cause us much problem. But if you leave them free, then they will cause us more problem. Okay, so like that, if two robbers are there, more will be the problem. No, correct. So that is the order. Okay, so you imagine lone pair like that only because they are the troublemaker. They will change the shape of the molecule. Okay, so if two lone pairs are there, repulsion will be highest. And if one lone pair and bond pair is there, it will be less. Bond pair and bond pair is present, then it will be still lesser. Okay, so the repulsive interaction of the electron pair decreases in this order. Okay, decreases. That means here it is maximum. Okay, this will be having a maximum repulsion. And the last one will be showing us minimum repulsion. Out of this 6, I said 4 at least you try to remember. 4 to 5, if you remember, well and good. Okay, I'll just revise, students, now from the beginning what we did. All the postulates I'll just brief through. Okay, so VSEPR theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory was put forward because Lewis could not explain the shape. So VSEPR theory gives us the clear picture of how the shape of the molecule will be. Okay, so first postulate what they say is that shape of the molecules which is there, that depends on the number of valence shell electron pair around the central atom. Okay, like I said, if there are two electron pair present, two electrons are there, that means the bond can be like a straight, in the straight formation. Okay, straight bond can be formed. If there is 3, then the geometry will change. Okay, so this is how the shape changes depending on the number of electron pair which are present. So shape of the molecule, it depends on how many electrons are present in the valence shell around the central atom. Okay, it depends on the central atom because they are the one who will be giving their hands to combine with the negative ions. Okay, central atom. First postulate is that. Second postulate, I told you that pair of electrons in this valence shell which are present, okay, whether 1, 2 or 3, whatever electron pairs are these, the electron pairs are negatively charged. Okay, since they are negatively charged, that they are going to repel one another. Okay, so these pair of electrons in the valence shell will repel one another because all of these are negatively charged. Electron clouds are negatively charged. So these bond of electrons which are present, cluster of electrons which are present, these are negatively charged, so they will repel one another. Okay, so that was the second postulate. Then based on the second postulate only, I said when electrons are negatively charged, they don't like each other, then how should you place them? Okay, you should place them in such a way that they are put in the maximum distance so that there is minimum repulsion between them. Okay, so these pair of electrons should occupy, okay, or they should tend to occupy themselves. They will adjust themselves in such a way that there is maximum distance and minimum repulsion between them. Okay, so that was the third one I told you. So in beryllium chloride, I said they will try to arrange themselves in a linear fashion like this, maximum distance, no? So 180-degree angle, they will try to arrange themselves. Okay. Next also, it depends how many bond pair are there. Depending on that, they will arrange themselves. Then next, the fourth postulate says that here this valence shell is considered as a sphere. Okay. Because atoms are like spherical only. So valence shell is also considered as a sphere. And in this sphere, these electrons are there. No, they will localize themselves so that there is maximum distance from one another. In this area only, they have to adjust themselves. Okay, so they have to somehow survive in this particular region. Once they have formed the bond, they have to adjust themselves. So how will they adjust in this particular region? In this spherical region, they will try to adjust themselves so that they don't fight with anybody, and then they are stable also. So maximum distance from one another. Okay, so that there will be minimum repulsion. And then I said about this multiple bond which are present here. Multiple bonds are treated as one single electron pair. Okay. And two or more this electron pair of the multiple bond is also treated as single super pair. Means what they are trying to say here is this multiple bonds are there, no? That you are taking as one single entity. Why they are taken as one single entity? Because they are present in this same region. So when they are present between the nuclei of the two regions, they won't affect us much for the geometry. Okay, so no matter how many electron pairs are present, you consider them as single electron pair itself, if they are binded with each other. Okay. Next, I told you in the central atom, we come across one is the lone pair of electron and the other one is the bond pair of electron. Okay, so lone pair of electron is there and bond pair of electron is there. But lone pair are the one who are not involved in the bonding process. Bond pair are the one who are involved in the bonding. So if they are involved in the bonding, their tendency to cause the repulsion will be less because they are held up here. Okay, whereas lone pair of electrons are left free. So the repulsion which will be caused will be more from the lone pair, then lone pair and bond pair, and then it will be for bond pair and bond pair. Okay, these will be experiencing very less repulsion. If two bond pair is there, we don't have much problem. The geometry will be as it is. Okay, it will not change. But if there is two lone pair of electron, then due to that lone pair repulsion, okay, then the geometrical shape can change. So now you have to study what are the different geometrical shapes. Okay, so we will start listing that. So molecules in which central atom has no lone pair. We are not talking about the lone pair. First, we will talk only about the bond pair. So I want you to draw this. Give the heading, students. Molecules in which central atom has no lone pair. I am not talking the lone pair now. We will talk only about the bond pair of electron. So here you write number of electron pair. Number of electron pairs. Number of electron pair. Make 3 columns. First column you write number of electron pair. Here I am talking about the number of bond pair of electron. Okay, bond pair of electron. And the next one you write molecular geometry, means molecules geometry. Molecular geometry. And third one, we will take down the examples. Third one, we will take down the examples. Okay, let's take now 2 bond pair. If 2 bond pair is there, okay, means 2 bonded atoms are there. So central atom, I will take them as A. Okay. So 1 bond on this side and 1 bond on the other side. Okay. So remember the VSPR theory. When you have two bond pairs are also electron. How will you arrange them? Arrange them in such a way that there is maximum distance from one another. So here, if I have two bond, I have to arrange them so that they are at extreme end. Okay. So they should be arranged in such a way that there is maximum distance, and maximum distance we can put by having an angle of 180 degree. Okay, this is one possibility what we can arrange. So it can be anyhow. Okay, you can arrange them like this also. A can be in the center this way, but then put them in the maximum distance. Okay, here also 180 degree. So it can be anyhow. That orientation can be anyhow, but then the geometry what you are going to get will be linear itself. Okay, this is the way we can arrange them. So here the geometry what we are going to get, the geometry name is linear. Okay, remember the name also. And for this example is the one which has two electrons in their outermost shell. Okay, like beryllium, we have beryllium chloride, BeCl2 can be example. Even Hg has two electrons in the outermost shell, HgCl2 is also an example. Yes, take down the first one. So I'll stop here because it's almost time, students. You take down the